Welcome, one and all. Today is December 1st, 2016, and this is Mastermind call number 102. It's hard to believe it's been that long. We got a medium turnout today. Actually, guys, not as big as usual, and I think maybe the holiday syndrome is kicking in a little bit already. While we're waiting for Chad, while we're waiting for Tim to come on, I know he wants to talk about the new website and see what your guys' take is on that. Fortunately, I think all of you must be on it. If you aren't, let us know. But we had very little problem with that. A couple weeks ago, we were just referencing, as most of you, or some of you may know, I was an active agent for 35 years, and Chad was an agent for a long time. And typically, the month of December is when everybody starts to slack off. And this is really a time when you can make sure that you finish the year strong. So, Chad, share your holiday story with them, if you would.
Yeah, so I've had this conversation so many times this week. I think it's helpful, especially in probate, to understand kind of the mindset of your ideal client. So somebody has passed away. Statistically, that's probably been about 2 months ago. They have gotten in their car, gathered documents, driven to the courthouse, and raised the red flag to say, hey, world, we're ready to deal with this. They obviously knew Christmas was coming. They obviously knew Thanksgiving was already here. So the list that you get, these people have an expectation to settle an estate. So keep that in mind. Don't let your own beliefs convince you that you shouldn't call anyone during the holidays. And also keep in mind the amount of stress load that this is adding to the already stressful commercial holiday we call Christmas for most people. And send your mail out and make your phone calls. And I struggled through this myself 2 years ago. I was trying to decide, am I throwing my marketing dollars away? Like, should I even do this? Should I just wait till January and reach out to these people? And unfortunately, I didn't really have that internal conversation with myself yet and realized that they probably need help and want to deal with this. So I sent the mail anyways. And that was my realization. I sent it out the third week of, I think we'd gotten back from Triple Play, and I sent it out the third week of December after we got back from Triple Play. And sure enough, we listed houses that week. And so we I think we listed 2 off of a 100-piece mailer. And we listed 2 houses, both in relatively rough condition. They were priced for first-time home buyers that have, are not afraid to do some work, or landlords. We kind of priced in that 80 to 90% of market value. And shockingly, I was on Christmas morning, I was cooking for my family, and I thought, I'm just going to check my email real quick. I had 2 offers on Christmas morning. The buyer's agents had actually gone out, and I checked my lock boxes. They showed property on Christmas morning, and I ratified 2 contracts before noon on Christmas morning from my family farm. So not only were the sellers ready to engage and get this done in December in the heart of the holidays, so were the buyers. And that was a good lesson for me, to not tell myself the story and try to talk myself out of prospecting or sending mail or anything. And so many people are already doing that. We cleared Thanksgiving, and everybody I talked to is just kind of freezing in their tracks, convincing themselves that it's a total waste to even pick up the phone and try to talk to these folks. And the reality is, they got to get this settled. They've got to do what they're responsible for doing. And they knew the holidays were coming. So don't be hesitant to reach out to these folks.
And we're not encouraging you to prospect on Christmas, but
don't. But your listings can sell on Christmas morning.
The good news or the bad news, depending how you look at it, my wife says I'm a Scrooge because I like it when it falls on Saturday and Sunday because it doesn't take up 2 whole weeks. The holidays are on the weekends this year, so work the Monday through Friday in between, and chances are you'll be the only other agent out there working. Our late partner still alive, but late partner Tim is on the call. Tim, anything you want to share with the group? Timothy, are you there? I see him, but
while we find him, Jim, I do want to say we are going to be at Triple Play in Atlantic City next week. So the December role play call is that it falls on, let's see, it would normally fall on December 7th. And I would like to, because of it's just a loud environment and hard to do the call from there. Actually, December 6th. So let's move the role play call to December 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern, I think is when it is. And I'll send an email out to everybody. But instead of being it's the first Wednesday, it's going to be the second Wednesday in December.
Excellent. And regular mastermind call next week, and then we'll just postpone the role play call for a week. And by the way, that was our other partner, Tom, who signed on. Tom, anything you want to share with the group from a customer service perspective? I referenced that the new website is up and running after taking much longer than we expected, but we've had almost no problems with it. Have you had any customer support issues with people getting into the new site?
Just a few, but they're normal. We expected to have some login issues, but I think everyone's had access, and the feedback I'm getting is everyone feels comfortable with the new CRM, and it's a lot easier to work with than the spreadsheets in the past, so that's a good thing.
Excellent. And as always, guys, I can't say this enough. We have 4 partners, and we now have 5 employees. If you need help with anything, the quickest, most efficient way to get help is just send an email to support@alltheleads.com. Tom monitors those, and he will, if you're real specific about what you need help with, the best person will get back to you, usually in a matter of minutes. I think our response time is less than 20 minutes average. So we're here, guys, and we will be working right through December, and want to make sure you finish the year strong and make 2017 your best, most productive year ever. We do have one person in the queue. Let's get to him first, and then Chad, I know you had a few questions that people had emailed in this week that you wanted to go over also, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get to the person who's in the queue. And guys, there's room for plenty more. Hit *6 and then hit 1 if you'd like to participate live on this call. All right, phone number ending in 2310. You're up.
Hi, this is Randy Elgin. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. I'm new to the group. I wasn't sure if anybody could hear me, so that's the reason why I queued in. I enjoyed going through the website yesterday, and I looked at the CRM. I think I'm going to enjoy using that one. And I'm really interested in knowing how other subscribers have modified the basic framework of mail call, then mail call, and what seems to work best beyond that minimum effective dose, if you will.
Yeah, great question. Chad?
I mean, the most common deviation from that is adding in more phone calls, or adding the other thing that's worked really well, and Bud Thompson, who's a real ambassador of ours, who may or may not be on the call today, has added a trifold brochure that he had designed. If you look in the All the Leads Mastermind Facebook group under Files, which is in the menu at the top, you can see Bud, I think in PDF or InDesign format, shared that with everybody. So some folks are including that with their letters. Some are, taking it on the appointments. There's different ways you can use that. But those are the 2 most common ways that people kind of, change up or, add more touches, is add more phone calls, maybe follow up each month for the next 12 months. The other really common way is to focus on attorneys and work on building a referral network. So in addition to marketing to your personal reps, market yourself and your service to the attorneys that show up on your list.
Okay, yeah. One of the questions, you had mentioned about the role play call. It's every second Wednesday. Is that what you said?
It's typically the first Wednesday of each month. But we're going to be we're at a convention this month, so we're going to make it the second Wednesday. Okay,
so I think the second Wednesday is not the 12th. I think it is like
It's
the 13th or 14th.
I believe it's the 14th.
14th, yeah. I think you'd mentioned the 13th.
So it'll be the
All right.
14th at 2 p.m. Eastern.
2 p.m. Eastern. All right, very good.
And Randy, the difference with that call versus this one, this is really an open forum. We try to make that, it's like Jeopardy. You have to make it in the form of a question. So if somebody comes on that call and asks us a question, we make them role play it. So pretend you want me to be the agent, or should I be the agent? And let's practice, how you handle that. So, and there's some common ones that come up, and we always get some unique ones too that kind of surprise us. So
Okay.
it's a really good exercise, and it's a really good chance to to really interact with people that are actually picking up the phone and making the calls. And
Sure.
I can't preach enough, guys. We have people that we've got a guy in Florida that's just killing it. He's never picked up the phone, but we don't recommend that. If you really want to maximize the results from this program, send a letter and then follow up with a phone call. It's a 1-2 punch, and if you do that, you're going to really get the maximum results, regardless of how competitive your market is.
Right.
Anything else, sir? Good questions.
No, I just happy to be here and ready to get started.
All right, welcome. Good. We got people piling up in the queue. We got two. I think I recognize the next phone number. Phone number ending in 1236. You're up.
Hey, Jim, can you hear me okay?
Can hear you great.
All right, this is Chris Cole with Keller Williams in Palm Beach County, Florida. How are you?
Excellent. I was hoping that was you.
Yeah, it's me. So I just wanted to kind of share a little bit of a win. Last month was my first list. This area is pretty busy, so the list that I get is pretty extensive. But my wife and I put together a mailer based on your format. I got that out, and I followed it about 5-7 days later with a slide dial call, a ringless voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple callbacks that were a little ugly, but not a problem. And then I got some that were actually pretty good. 2 or 3 that I'm still following up with, and they're not ready to do anything yet. One was an immediate listing. He needed help, and, I listed it right away, and actually it's in contract. It's a small place. It was a very small place, but it was in contract within a few days. And then the next one, the guy's coming in. He's flying in next week. I already have an appointment, and we're listing his place. That's going to be about a 350 listing, so that's a good listing. And interestingly enough, when I was over at the small place, just to take pictures, the estate sale company was there, packing up and moving everything out. So I got to talking to the owner of the estate sale company, and she actually referred me to somebody the next day who I'm probably going to get their listing of about 350 next week as well. So it's not always just the list. I'm finding that, we have to mine for business. It's the attorney and the estate sale company, which I'm going to actively start to market to these estate sale companies, because a lot of times, and this was confirmed by her, they're the ones that are doing the referring out, because they're the ones that are getting contacted first by the PR, Yep.
Boy, that's great, Chris.
Yep.
And very well said. And I always tell that to agents. We have found the single biggest stress factor for these people, of course, after the loss of a loved one, is they're 1,000 miles away and they got a house full of stuff they got to get rid of, and they don't know what to do. So I can see where often they would call the estate sale company before they would call the realtor. And
she said that happens all the time, and she said, "Oh, I'm so glad I met you, because, anytime I meet a realtor that has, their act together, I like to keep them." And she said, "Oh, I just happened to refer out one in a town that I work last week, and the guy sold it in 7 days." And I was like, "Oh, all right, this is somebody that I'm going to keep in contact with." So I'm now doing research. I'm going to list out every estate sale and every antique store that does estate sales in my area. I'm going to list them out, and I'm going to start to get to the owners, and I'm going to start to get to the people who work there, who are answering the phones, and I'm going to get them our information and why they should call us,
Good for you. Chad, any comments other than a round of applause?
Oh, good for you. I mean, every one of the people on your team, all those vendors that you work with, it should be a symbiotic relationship. So you guys should be throwing referrals back and forth, helping each other. And good for you for having a plan to really build that referral network with the estate sale companies. I'd encourage you to do the same with the attorneys, the estate attorneys, the probate attorneys, financial planners, anyone who can really bring value to these people. They can also bring these people to you. So that's great.
Chad,
Thank you for sharing this.
You've shared with the group before too. Now, we don't provide this information, but Chris, we've had a half a dozen agents do extremely well by going to hospices and long-term care facilities and reaching out to the director there. Chad will tell you the title, but they're usually very motivated to get their places occupied, and they often can't do it until the real estate is sold. Chad, what's the person called at the care facility that people should seek out?
It varies from facility to facility. Sometimes it's the director of admissions. Sometimes it's the director of marketing, the program coordinator. There's different titles depending on where you are and what type of business it is. But I mean, what you want to find, you want to look for the person who's the initial point of contact. They're basically a salesperson that highlights the amenities of the community, and then gets a first-hand look at the family's financials to try to figure out how the heck they can pay for it and create a customer out of that person. You got to understand it's one of the fastest growing businesses in the country right now, and they're struggling to keep up with not only their nursing staff, but a lot of them are struggling to even build fast enough for the aging population. So those folks can actually really, really benefit from knowing a realtor who can help liquidate the asset that holds 80% of the wealth for the average family. You can do them a real favor, and so they should be excited to talk to you because you can help them hit their numbers and keep their business running strong.
Yeah,
and pretty much any of us will have multiple facilities in your backyard. I mean, I don't know that there's anywhere that you can't drive 50 miles and get to a big long-term care facility.
When I approach an attorney or somebody like that estate sale people, my approach is my mindset is, how do I make their life easier? How do I insert my team into the process to where it's an easier deal for them? It's an easier file for the attorney. It's an easier process for the estate liquidator. So my mindset is, how do I make it easier for them? And they're going to automatically want to call me because I'm an asset to them, That's
perfect. And I'll tell you that it is not easy to stand out above the crowd as a real estate professional when you do that. And what we find with folks who are stepping out of their comfort zone and doing this and with attorneys and nursing homes, these people latch on to those agents because they're like, oh my gosh, just like you said with the estate sale company, they don't expect that level of professionalism and proactiveness that, hey, I can serve, like my ideal client is your ideal client, and we have a service targeted specifically toward them and their problems, which will make your life easier. And if you can just help everybody in your community understand that, you'll attract business. I mean,
I agree.
You can't help but get those referrals.
I agree. Several of the attorneys I actually ask, I first tell them what I'm doing, the team that we have put together, and then I ask, how can I make your life easier? How can I make your day-to-day job easier? How can I help your clients better while relieving your workload? And they really respond to that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's perfect, man. Thanks so much for sharing.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you, Coach Chris. You did. I'm sure you inspired a lot of people on this call. Do me a favor, Chris. What tends to happen is our new clients show up for these calls, and when they get busy and successful, we don't hear from them often. So please try, if you can, schedule 1 o'clock every Thursday to come back, even if you're, if this really takes off like I know it's going to.
Sure.
I really appreciate you coming back and sharing with the group, and I think you inspired a lot of people. Thank you so much.
No problem. Listen, my mindset is, I think we all need to think that we need to realize there's enough business out there for all of us. We need to share what our successes are. And if I can save somebody else time in getting there, I'll do it. So, because I'm going to be asking other people for help too. So,
very, very well said, sir. Thank you. We have a couple other people in the queue. I want to make sure I get to them. But again, thank you so much for your great content, your great contribution.
No sweat. Take care.
All right, take care. All right, next up is phone number ending in 2821. You're up.
How you guys doing? This is Bud Thompson up here in Omaha.
Hey, Bud.
Bud.
Great as always. How are you, sir?
Hey, good. Hey, let's see. I got about three things here. First of all, Chad's story about the Christmas week was awesome, and I can't believe how that helps me this month because I was just about to gas off the month this morning, and I just got my list yesterday. But you make a lot of good sense. Actually, I look back and I think every December, January is my best listing month of the year. But you're right. This will reduce the stress on a lot of people by offering them a solution when they have plenty of stress in the holidays anyway. So, Chad, attaboy, that was a good one.
Thanks.
The second thing is you mentioned my trifold. Actually, I'm very impressed with Roger Lisi's trifold that he's put on the Facebook page and his he calls it his Feel Felt Found letter. I've been trying to get Roger to respond to me on private message, but he must not pay much attention. But if Roger, if you're on there, call me up, will you? Anyway, I like his trifold. It looks very professional. I think it's a great one for attorneys. Mine's probably more for the PR, the personal representative. And the third thing I wanted to mention was that guy Chris out of Keller Williams, Palm Beach, Florida. Give me a call, Bud Thompson in Omaha, because you've got the perfect supplement to what All the Leads offers, and that's the course that Keller Williams offers called Baby Boomer Listings. You can find it on the MAPS coaching page of Keller Williams, and it gives you the scripts on how to deal with the marketing directors of retirement homes and how to deal with attorneys. It is awesome, and I think some of you guys might have some exposure to it. Actually, my trifold came from that course. But that's it. I was just going to say attaboy to Chad and happy holidays to you.
Thanks so much, Bud.
Thank you, Bud. We don't even have time to tell your story today, but Bud is just, I don't think he ever picked up the phone to prospect until he met us, and he's just absolutely killed it in a very rural market. So,
don't say that. I've been through Keller Williams Bold 3 times, so I've done a lot of phone prospecting.
Oh, you know who
yeah.
I'm confusing you with Roger Lacey. I'm confusing you with Roger
Yeah,
Lacey.
Roger's the one that didn't ever call anybody.
Okay. I got you. Sorry about that. But you always have good contributions on the calls. Thank you, Bud.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great one. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
Next up on the call is phone number ending in 2388. You're up.
Well, big hi to you, Jim. This is Vito from this morning in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, Vito, you've been a subscriber for 20 minutes now. Do you have any success stories to share?
I have a success story mainly in the motivation that I've been getting so far. Great call, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. What can we do for you, sir?
Well, like we chatted about this morning, you wanted me to make a point of when I called in about the Facebook group.
Oh, yes. Chad, he would like to, our newest subscriber, he would like to join the Facebook group. Thank you. Would you tell everybody how to do that if they're not members?
Well, we know he hasn't watched the fast track training now.
Oh, it says that. Okay.
There's a couple of ways, and that's one of the things we cover in the fast track training videos. I'll show you how to jump over and do that. But if to manually do it, you can just go to Facebook and search All the Leads Mastermind and request access, and I'll let you in. There's also a link from somewhere within the fast track training on our website. I think it's in the conference call area or the training area, where you can click directly and land in the group.
Yeah, Chad, I did that already.
Okay.
But I was just asking the question because Jim wanted me to bring it up.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Vito. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
All right. We have one more. Boy, good timing. We got about 5 minutes left. We have one more person in the queue. And then, Tim, I know you're on now. Maybe you can close it with some comments, from our fearless leader here. Let me go to the next call first. Phone number ending in 2864. You're up.
Yes. Hi. This is Kathy Cavalieri. How are you?
Hi, Kathy. You got on the call. Good job.
Yes. Thank you. As you know, we're gonna start this program, and I wanted to know where the executor script is because I couldn't find it. You asked me to participate in the call to And I'd like to also have, the other participants share with me, how is what are the objection handlers and all that will be useful, as we do the phone call.
Perfect. Chad?
Okay. So the first place to start would be in step 3 of the fast track training. Once you're signed up, we cover kind of why we don't have written scripts. More and more people are asking for that, so I'm going to work on something. What we teach is a conversation framework. So I would much rather, because there's so many variables in these situations, and because the scope of your service is going to be so broad, more than just I can list houses, we try to teach you to focus first on the people and understand their situation and their goals, and then kind of be the solutions engineer and take the conversation in the best direction the direction you think is in their best interest. So it's kind of hard to just script out like you would a FSBO, but I will work on that. But for right now, if you watch the video the step 3 of the probate fast track training, and then below that you can download the probate seller interview sheet. And that's in Microsoft Excel format, so you can modify it however you would like, and that's actually what we encourage you to do. And that's designed to really help you understand the flow of the conversation, and then build your own sales language around that.
Okay. Are the objection handlers in there as well?
There aren't objections in there. We do spend we have a pretty comprehensive objection role play as part of Probate Mastery in session 3, and that's our advanced training. The other really good place to get those, if you go in the subscriber portal, if you look on the left and go to conference calls, and then look under the call archive, you can pull up all the past role play calls.
I'm sorry, where do I go
again? If I'm remembering correctly, role play
Chad,
call 11.
She didn't hear you. Would you go through that again, please?
Sure. So you can, when you log into the subscriber portal at alltheleads.com, on the left-hand sidebar, there's a link for conference calls, and at the top of that page, there's a link for conference call archive.
Okay.
And there you can search by month, and if I remember right, role play calls, I think 11 and 12 were almost entirely on handling objections, and we role played with several people in there.
Okay. Now, in the role play, how is it? Is there a schedule of who participates each month, or is just randomly?
No, it's an open forum. You can bring anything. Anybody can step up, and we try to make sure we handle everybody that's in the queue. They run 30 to 40 minutes, and we'll stay as long as we need to get everybody taken care of.
All right.
Thank you so much, Kathy. And we started the call with Randy. It looks like he's back. Randy, did you have another question, or are you just still in the queue?
No, I have another question. I noticed that the mastery training. I wanted to find out what when the next class is going to be, because the website says there's 3 formats, but I only see one, and that's group training.
Yeah, right now we're just offering the group training, and we finish up the November course is actually finishing up tomorrow. I haven't set December dates yet. I think probably it's challenge. We've got triple play coming up, and then, so it could be the week of the 12th, like the 12th, 14th, 16th, or it could be I'm hesitant to do it the last, obviously the week of Christmas, or the week after, because people are traveling and tend to stay away from the holidays. So the likely dates will be the 12th, 14th, and 16th. I send out emails, so you'll get at least 2 emails kind of announcing the next class dates.
Okay. And Randy, if for any reason you miss it, we do that. Chad does that every month, and they just keep getting better and better. And once you've taken it, you can take it as many times as you want. You're an alumni, and I think he has people come back almost every month and go through it again, because it really gets better and it improves every month. So you're very,
Sounds great.
All right. Well, thank you. Our Tim, did you have some comments? I know you made it to the call about halfway through. Anything you want to add to today's discussion? Thank you all for the questions. That's all the people we have. So, Tim, anything from you?
No, not really. I mean, I'm just tickled to hear all these wonderful questions, and I'll just say one other thing, and that is, if you've been with us a while, you know that we just made a bunch of changes to everything that we're doing online. We're getting a bunch of good feedback from people about the new CRM that we announced, kind of a CRM light, and let you work with your leads. If you have any questions about that or anything else, just drop an email to support@alltheleads.com. More importantly, we've gotten some great feedback and some feature requests from, gee, it would be nice if it did this, gee, it'd be nice if it do that. And Bud was just on, and Bud sent us a laundry list of things he'd love it to do. And obviously, we grow our business based on what you guys want. So if there's anything that you would like to suggest that we might want to offer or anything else, we'll certainly take that into advisement. We want to build what you want, not what we want to go build. So if you'll drop us an email to support with any suggestions or anything else that's there, we're here to serve your needs.
Awesome. Great call, guys. Thank you so much. Very inspiring stories. We really appreciate you guys taking 30 minutes of your time to be here. Very much appreciate the people that participate every week. And I always like to end these calls by challenging you. You took 30 minutes to be here. You heard some great examples of people that are doing well with this. So take one idea, one thing you learned, one thing that inspired you from this call. Go out and put it into practice, and please come back next Thursday and report your results to the group. Make it a great week, guys. We will talk to you same time next Thursday. Thank you so much. Take care.